What's good, guys? So, I guess crypto has messed up my sleeping habits. The previous order that I had put in, that one has not filled. So, I don't know where I got the figure of $1.42, but whatever, right? So, anyway, I've been going through a bunch of old computer parts, right? So, bunch of old computer parts. So, a lot of y'all, or some of y'all may know, I used to do gold refining. So I would work on computers for other people, and if they just didn't want them, I would just scrap them and take, the internal parts, what kind of stuff out of it, so different CPUs and whatnot. But these are all trash. These can never be used again. I mean, yeah, so it's this is just a bunch of stuff that I had left over that I didn't get to scrap yet. So these are all CPUs, so as well as the others there, right? Oops. But and a bunch of RAM from different laptops, much smaller RAM than the other. So this is just, like I said, just extra stuff I had in a box that I've been trying to figure out what to do with. Now, as far as the 3.5-inch drives, I got 4 of these left. The others I just took apart, like completely, took the platters and everything else out. Because the entire case is aluminum, that sort of stuff. So it has other metals in it. And it also has different gold pieces inside of it. But very, very little, right? So it's like, well, what do I do with this other than make aluminum bricks out of this stuff? Because it's cast aluminum. So, I mean, and I've already got, I don't know, probably 20 more of these. And these are only like 80 gigabytes. So, I mean, to put these 4 together would only give me 320 gigabytes if I wanted to build some sort of a NAS or whatever with it. So, that to me doesn't make any sense. What makes more sense are the different SSDs, like this, not non-mechanical, so just the SSDs. But I've got several others for laptops that are mechanical. This one is like, I don't know, 120 gigabytes, then 300 and something, and then 500 and something, then 1 terabyte. So the only ones I would really even be interested in keeping would really be like the 1 terabyte or the 500 gigabyte. So that would be about it. But at the same time, how much storage am I actually going to need here? Because, so that let's just take these 2 off the top, because those are pretty much done for. Those are like obsolete. So we only have like a 1.5 terabyte of mechanical, which really makes no sense to even attempt it, because you'd be looking at like, say, $10 a cable, so that would be $20. And that's just in the way that it sits. When I could buy another external hard drive for $100, shuck it, and have a 6 terabyte, have another 6 terabyte mechanical if that were the route that I wanted to go, right? So the smaller 2.5 inch drives, yeah, I just ain't feeling it. The only thing I'm thinking of, like like with this 1 terabyte, is to be able to take like pictures and video footage, right? And to be able to put that onto this hard drive. Something like that. Just as an extra backup. Or like, say when I'm traveling to different crypto events, you know? And I just want to back up, take all the footage off of those SSD cards and clear them and just store them on something. Just to get all the footage put onto a disk drive. These are so much lighter, and this, it does not matter. These mechanical drives, you go drop in this, it's done for. So, these would pack much easier, in my opinion. So, but, because that's the other thing I'm looking at. It's like I've already got 8 terabytes, or 8.5 terabytes of storage into this unit that I've just finished building. I've got a few other things coming in that I ordered for it. But, 8.5 terabytes, just the way that it sits. Now, that's without this. This is another terabyte of solid state drive. Like I said, so should I just use the 1 terabyte just for the video footage and everything else from traveling, and just to keep video footage on here? Like I said, because for 1.5 terabytes, and these are mechanical. So, for mechanical hard drives, this one doesn't feel like it's mechanical, though. The bottom, this is still on a tray. Like, yeah, this is still on a tray for it to fit in. This doesn't feel, this feels like a, I can't tell. Let's pull that up a little closer. This one does not feel like a, a mechanical. This one feels like a solid state drive. So I don't know what size that is. I think this was a 0.5 terabyte, like 500 gigabytes. But this one is mechanical. What are these? Are these? Yeah, these are both mechanical. Yeah, all of these are mechanical. However, this one feels like a... This one doesn't feel mechanical. This one feels like another solid state. If this is the case, then that would be awesome. Then I could wipe this and use this just as like a backup for video footage even. But it depends how much storage I would have to render onto it. So yeah, the 1 terabyte mechanical, I'm just not feeling the 2.5 inch drives. The only thing I can see for the 2.5 drives are just extra storage for, like, if this is a solid state drive and not a HDD, then that's great. Then that would travel well as well also. Like I said, just for video footage, to take it from the cards and to just shoot it right onto that, and then clear the cards, reformat the SD cards, and just to be able to compile footage while traveling is what I was kind of thinking. So, and yes, Clint and Lisa, I'm about to get back onto that. It's just I had to get this finished. I had a lot of stuff go on in a short amount of time, So, So yeah, I've got a lot of footage and all to compile, to put on other cards. I've still got those memory cards over here to go ahead and transfer all that and try to render it and put it all together and make it halfway decent for anyone to pull it up. So, or how much footage did it actually capture? As far as storage space, I mean, is it like 10 gigabytes? Or is it like, is it like 32 gigabytes worth of footage that I could throw like on just a thumb drive and then just mail the thumb drive? So, or is it going to be more like, 50 gigabytes each? Something. So I don't know the total in size just yet. I haven't gotten that far. I got the piece to plug everything into, and I'm coming. I know. What do you do with all this other stuff? I mean, I've got, I have got, if you can imagine the 55-gallon garbage cans, 55-gallon garbage cans, I've got, I know for certain, 2 of those completely full with aluminum parts, with motherboards, just garbage that can never be reused. So, I mean, all of that has to be reclaimed, and that's just what is left over from when I had stopped doing all the gold refining. So, because it's called aqua regia. So, a little something I learned in chemistry, while I was in college. Just from old computer parts and whatnot, and using muriatic and nitric acids and different things. So it's sodium metabisulfate and urea. But you have to know what you're doing, because the chemical process can actually damage you badly, like permanently for life. Acids and bases. It's actually very, very volatile, and the fumes of it can actually kill you. So you have to wear a real respirator, a real gas mask, not the drywall mask. That's just, and not in the house at all. So, it's, so I don't know. I don't even know what laws and stuff are out there nowadays for this kind of stuff. I mean, now we have laws for just riding a damn bicycle. You got to wear a helmet. Otherwise, you can get a ticket. Excuse me? A ticket. Okay. So, right. So I don't even know what, I don't even know if I can still buy those different acids and different things to be able to do this. It is not using any sort of mercury. So I don't believe in doing any of this that way. So that is extremely, extremely harmful to you and everything around you by using mercury. So no, I never did use mercury in that way. But, as far as like just, reclaiming all the gold out of computer chips, right? So, I mean, it's like, I got all this stuff still sitting here. This, what I have out here is like nothing. Like I said, I've got two 55-gallon garbage cans completely filled up, full of computer parts that are just trashed. So old motherboards. I mean, it's just And same thing, like all the different transistors and resistors and capacitors and diodes and everything else on the board. I mean, all those things contain like platinum and palladium and whatnot. So there are ways to reclaim that, but I don't. It's been years since I've tried to do any sort of resistors and diodes and anything like that, right? So it's like, it as far as the reclaiming the gold, no problem. As far as the resistors and all, yeah. Look, I could take pliers and pop them off the boards and then just save them in a jar. I guess I don't know. But all of that kind of stuff, you don't want this kind of stuff ending up in a landfill when these metals are considered precious and hard to come across, really. And especially with inflation and other stuff coming in the near future, hyperinflation, what's it worth to one person? Well, this was just a way that I earned, I earned a few extra dollars on the side by doing stuff like this, as well as I got all the extra parts, right? This was just like a little side hustle that I would do when I was younger. Before the whole eye surgery stuff and becoming legally blind, I used to do a lot of this kind of stuff. So I still have a lot of it that I never got back to. I mean, I have my own kiln. I have all of that. I can refine gold. I can pour my own copper. I can do all of that. I haven't fired anything up in years. But yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, like riding a bike, right? But I mean, it's in the same thing. Like with all of these different things, this is cast aluminum. Each one of these drives is cast aluminum. I mean, that's a brick. You can make bricks of aluminum with that. And that's like pure. That's not like Coke cans. That's not like soda cans, where you have all the trash you got to dig out. It's not like that. You melt that down, it's ready to pour. So anyway, just what do you do with all the extra hard drives, right? I mean, at this point in the game, it's like, it's really so obsolete, in my opinion. If it's not a solid state drive, it's like, or the only one that's over there that's worth anything really to me would be the 1 terabyte. The 1 terabyte and a half terabyte. That would be about it. But the rest of them, 80 gigabytes, what are you going to do with that? I mean, if I put the pictures and stuff on something like that and mailed that, the postage of mailing that would cost more than... But can you imagine the look on, like, if I were to put the photos and shit on a hard drive like that, right? And because that's only 80 gigabytes. So if I were to use that and actually put all the photos and video footage on to each of those and mail one of those to Clint and one to Lisa, can you imagine what they would do if they get that in the mail? What in the shit am I going to do with this? Because then you need then you need the SATA connection to go onto the back here. But of those drives, it has the same SATA connection, the exact same, to a USB. So, then they could then just plug it right into their computer. But I don't know. Different. I may have to test my blood sugar. Been really thirsty here lately. So yeah, just my sleeping habits are all screwed up, and I'm just looking about, wondering what to do with some of this stuff. I mean, some of it may be good, like the RAM sticks and all for someone. But here again, who's building out computers that use DDR2 and DDR3 RAM, right? I mean, that stuff. That stuff is ancient. Well, that's the same thing like the previous server. I was looking, and it uses, like, I want to say DDR3 RAM in it, but the motherboard is shot, right? So I got to start all over again. So basically a whole new computer with that. So a whole other case, a motherboard, then the RAM is obsolete. Now the hard drives, I have plenty of hard drives. I could do something with what I've got, right? Yeah, I'd have to get RAM. I've got other graphics cards, other GPUs. Like I've got the RX 580, 8 gigabyte. I mean, I don't have anything like within the last year, but still decent. I've got power supplies out the wazoo, but they're only like, old Dells, like 400 watts, and I don't have anything 600, 800 watts. I mean, now what was in the previous server was an 800 watt power supply, but that power supply, it's a different shape. It was specially made to fit in that Hewlett Packard server. So to try to reuse that, nah. I would just pay $150 for an 850 watt power supply and be good with that. So unless I wanted to use a few different graphics cards with it. But anyway, I guess I'm just rambling on. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out what computer parts I got and where to go from here. Because to try to put all of this storage together to make it usable to do something is not cost efficient. It's actually better to either like wipe the drives clean, like with a cloth, format them, and try to sell them on eBay. I guess it's it's like who would want it even, really. So I don't know what else to do with the stuff. Just going through the box of stuff that was left over of useful parts, or could have been, and just looking around. So anyway, thought I'd share that. And y'all be cool. Later.